All right, we got 4 minutes left. It's probably the last one. This is going to be in the book of Revelation, and it says this. When John is describing someone like the Son of Man, was he being literal? For instance, when he describes him like a double-edged sword coming out of his mouth.
Right. And so what he's referring to is the description of Jesus in Revelation chapter 1. And you also have some of that same description when you get to Revelation 19. And John says in verse 12, Then I turned to see the voice that spoke with me, and having turned I saw 7 golden lampstands, and in the midst of the 7 lampstands one like the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the feet and girded about the chest with a golden band. His head and hair were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes like a flame of fire. His feet were like fine brass, as if refined in a furnace, and his voice like as the sound of many waters. So his voice sounds like a waterfall or like a storm breaking on the coast, that kind of thing. He had in his right hand 7 stars. Out of his mouth went a sharp 2-edged sword, and his countenance was like the sun shining in its strength. And when I saw him, I fell at his feet as dead, but he laid his right hand on me, saying to me, Do not fear, do not be afraid. I am the first and the last. And the passage goes on there. I have no doubt that that's exactly what John saw. So I think that's an appearance of Jesus there. And I think that he saw exactly that. One like the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the feet, girded about the chest with a golden band, and a sword coming out of his mouth. That was a double-edged sword. All of those things mean something. You know, they're all symbolic of different aspects of the ministry of Christ. And so white represents purity, gold represents deity. He's dressed like a priest. He's our great high priest. The whole idea of brass and burning and that kind of thing. The altar of sacrifice was made of brass, and that's connected with judgment. Sacrifice is a judgment on the animal or the person. That's Jesus being sacrificed. And the idea of a 2-edged sword coming out of his mouth. A sword is a weapon. And the idea there is that Jesus doesn't need a real sword, because literally his word is the weapon that he'll use. And so Jesus doesn't have to come up and hack people to death or something. He can just speak them out of existence, and that's the point that's behind this. And so it's a vision, and I have no doubt that that's exactly what John saw, and that he wrote it down that way. And later on, you have some of that same vision with Jesus returning in Revelation chapter 19. But again, the vision represents something. And so, that would be scary.
Yeah, totally.
In fact, John's the guy who laid his hand on Jesus's chest, and John is the guy here who hits the ground as though he's dead when he sees this vision of Jesus. So, gentle Jesus, meek and mild.
Yeah,
There he
totally.
is, right there.
Second coming is the lion for sure.
Yep.